Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Football Overseas YouTube channel. And it's the competitions come around thick and fast at this time of the season. And this weekend, it's the return or the turn of the FA Cup, and it's the FA Cup fifth round into the last 16 teams now. Because, as we know, the semi-finals are played at Wembley. It's 2 steps away now for these teams for a day out at Wembley. So, quite a bit on the line for some of them who don't get that chance very often. So let's see what the lineup and the fixture list gives us. They start on Friday, there's one game on Friday and through to the one game on Monday. So all 8 games sandwiched between those 4 days. So on Friday night then, we start off the round with Aston Villa versus Cardiff City. And Villa looking pretty good, especially at home. Generally this season they've been good. They've played football with a bit of flair, and they've been good to watch. And I think Cardiff have had their struggles, haven't they? This has been a welcome break for Cardiff from their struggles in the Championship, which they're still really looking over their shoulder at relegation at the moment. So I think, although they can go there, clean their minds of all that, go there and have an evening out, give it their best shot, nothing to lose for Cardiff. I think the Villa will just they'll probably got their eyes on a trophy, of course, to really supplement what an excellent season they've had. And this represents a real chance. So I think Aston Villa will just be too good on the night and are going to take them to sneak it by 2-1. Aston Villa 2, Cardiff 1. Then we have on Saturday, we have 4 games. And the first of those is Crystal Palace against Millwall. So a good old London derby to kick off Saturday. And again, Crystal Palace, much like the Villa, much improved. Certainly Palace have improved as the season's gone on. I think it's 4 away wins on the trot now in the Premier League. So they're showing signs of good form currently. And again, they'll have see this as a real chance to make progress in a cup competition, to support the good form that they've done. Millwall having a pretty okay season now in the Championship, just about holding their own quite comfortably. Don't think they're going to go up, don't think they're going to go down. So they're sort of, again, a dangerous side in that respect, because they've got nothing to distract them. They can go for this and go to Palace and really give it a shot. And I'm sure they will, backed by a good support. Haven't got to travel far. So I think Crystal Palace, though, their Premiership class, even if they do perhaps understrength it a little bit, I think they'll be good enough on the day. And I think Crystal Palace will run out winners by 3-1. Crystal Palace 3, Millwall 1. Then we have a derby match, a Lancashire derby match, an all-championship affair, if you like, with Preston North End home to Burnley. Now, Burnley have got their eyes firmly on one of the top 2 places in the Championship. They've got this extraordinary run of results. I think it's 12 consecutive clean sheets in the Championship now, or in all competitions. But it's a ridiculous. I think they still only conceded 9 goals all season in the Championship, as we know. So their defence is obviously top class, and it's their strength. Preston North End really become very hard to beat. They're digging out some really good results in the Championship after an iffy start to the season. They've shown that they can mix it and be competitive for sure, at least as a minimum. And I think they might just spring a surprise. Not in any dramatic way, but I think it'll be a 1-1 draw across the 90. That means somehow they've got to get through the Burnley defence, and I think Burnley will edge it in extra time stroke penalties. So the extra period that's needed, Burnley will go through the round, but it'll be a draw over 90. Let's see how that pans out. Then we have a repeat of a game from last weekend, Bournemouth home to Wolves. And Wolves, it was, who walked away with the points in the Premier League, a little bit controversially for those who follow that. However, Bournemouth, again, they're having a great season. Still got their eyes on some sort of European football, I'm sure, come the completion of the Premier League season. Wolves are just beginning to give themselves a bit of daylight at the bottom, but by no means be complacent at all. But I think Wolves will probably just see this probably won't go full for tilt for this, I don't think, for head of steam for this. I think Bournemouth will give it their best shot, and I think that means they will edge Wolves on this week, get their revenge for last week. Bournemouth to take the match by 2-0. Then the final game on the Saturday is Manchester City at home to Plymouth, of course. And Plymouth and Manchester City will know that Plymouth certainly not to be underestimated, even though their lowly position in the Championship is still giving them concern. Plymouth, of course, beat Liverpool, or a Liverpool tied in the last round, but it was a team they thought that would be good enough to win the game and didn't. So Plymouth caused an upset there, and deservedly so on the day. This is a real different challenge, though. Of course, going away to Manchester City. Manchester City, though, were comprehensively beaten by Liverpool at the weekend, but I think they will have too much for Plymouth here. Plymouth, though, need to just go there and put their stall out and not concede early. That's easy for everyone to say, but it is going to be key, I think, because otherwise they might get overrun a little bit. I think they're made of sterner stuff in recent weeks, Plymouth, and they'll have a huge following going up to Manchester on Saturday. The Plymouth fans are fantastic, given the distances they've got to travel. I think it's just part of their DNA. They know that's what it's got to be. But Manchester City, then, I think, to run out winners and progress to the last 8 by 3-1. Give Plymouth a consolation maybe there. Then we go to Sunday, 2 games on Sunday. Firstly, involving Newcastle United against Brighton. And Newcastle involved in that incredible 4-3 game in the Premier League last week. And they are sort of a bit carefree in their play at the moment. But they know at the moment if the opposition scores 3, they'll score 4 type of approach, as the Kevin Keegan Newcastle days were. But they're just a great watch this season, and they're having a really good season. Brighton equally having a good season. But I think this one is going to be, I think it'll be a really good match. Could be one of the ties of the round, in my opinion, for ebbing and flowing, and you can't really nail down a winner here if you're asked to. I'm going to say there'll be goals around again, just purely because of the nature of the way these two sides have gone about their football. I'm going to take Newcastle to edge it by 3-2. So Newcastle 3, Brighton 2. That leaves us 2 matches to go, and the second one on Sunday is Manchester United at home to Fulham. Now, Manchester United's difficulties are well documented, and they're not really relenting at the moment. They did come back well last week at Everton, but probably were denied, or Everton were probably denied a penalty in the last minute. Well, they were denied it, but it was probably wrong that they were, but that's up for debate. And Fulham have got good, decent record against Manchester United, so they'll be looking to maintain that, especially at Old Trafford. So I think Fulham will surprise. I say it wouldn't be that much of a surprise, I suppose, if they go there and win. But I think it's still Manchester United at home, 70-odd thousand in the. They still got that aura about them to a certain degree. So to go there and win is still a real notch in the bedpost, and I think Fulham will do just that. So I'm going to take Manchester United to bow out at this stage. Manchester United 1, Fulham 2. And takes us to the final match on Monday night. Again, 2 Premiership sides. Nottingham Forest at home to Ipswich. Ipswich now looking real danger. They're getting rolled over a bit too easily in recent weeks. They were being competitive. Well, they're still competitive, but their defences seem to have... It's just caved in a little bit in a couple of matches. And they're being, as I say, their tummies are being tickled a bit easily at the moment. Nottingham Forest, you never know quite what you're going to get. They were 4-1 down at half-time last week, got back to 4-3. They lost 7-0. They win 5-0 or whatever round it was. They lost 7-0, didn't they? And then won 5-0 or something. It's just crazy what they get up to. Again, with an enterprising manager who just, they're great to watch. So I don't think there'll be too many goals in this. But I think home advantage, Nottingham Forest form, and they'll again see this as there's a lot of teams here having really good season that would like to just back it up with a trophy in the cabinet, and I think Nottingham Forest are one of those. So I'm going to say they'll just edge past Ipswich, but the cup is the cup, and the league form goes out the window, as we know. So Nottingham Forest 2, Ipswich 1 to wrap up the weekend FA Cup. So there we go. 5th round, last 16. Good luck to all the teams involved. I hope you enjoy the matches. There's some great ones there, some ones that stand out, as I say. So have a great weekend and good luck to all the teams. And if you follow any of those teams, hope your team gets into the next round and the last 8. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.